For years, my sister assumed I was penniless, while I discreetly purchased all her debts and eventually foreclosed on her cherished home. To Evelyn, I was always the family letdown. While she wed her high school love and settled into a grand Victorian in the suburbs, I resided in a cramped flat above a dry cleaner. She'd drop by once or twice annually, usually when she wanted a favor, always tossing remarks about my secondhand couch or outdated yogurt. Poor Clara. She'd sigh to our parents, still can't pull herself together. Unbeknownst to her, I've been quietly amassing a fortune. My finance degree and meticulous nature steered me toward debt acquisition, snapping up delinquent loans for mere cents on the dollar, then collecting their full worth. It wasn't flashy, but it was lucrative, highly lucrative. Evelyn's husband, Marcus, lost his job in 2019. Rather than cutting back, they maintained their lifestyle with credit lines and loans. As their mortgage payments faltered, I observed silently as their debts ballooned. Late charges, penalties, compounding interest, it escalated quickly. The first acquisition was simple. Their credit card lender sold me $52,000 in unpaid debt for $9,500. Then came the hospital bills for Marcus's procedure, the auto loans, the second mortgage they'd taken for home upgrades. Every few months, I'd scoop up another slice of their financial ruin. At family gatherings, Evelyn would grumble about relentless debt collectors. "These sharks won't leave us alone," she'd say, slicing her roast, demanding money we don't have. I'd nod with feigned concern, fully aware I controlled 80% of those calls. The tipping point came last Thanksgiving. Evelyn pulled me aside in the dining room, pressing a $20 bill into my hand. "Here," she said with that patronizing grin, "treat yourself to something decent for once." That same week, I acquired their mortgage from the lender, $320,000 in debt for $175,000 cash. 3 months later, I initiated foreclosure. Evelyn called me in tears. "We're losing the house," she wept. "Some investment firm bought our loan and won't budge. They're demanding full payment, or we're out in 60 days. "That's awful," I said, sitting in my actual office, not the tiny apartment I kept as a facade. "Who's the firm?" "Blue Horizon Ventures," she stammered. "They're ruthless. I owned Blue Horizon Ventures." "Maybe I can help," I suggested. "I've saved a bit over the years," she scoffed, her voice sharp. "Unless you've got $320,000 stashed somewhere, there's nothing you can do." "Actually," I said softly, "I do." The silence lingered. "What are you saying?" she murmured. "I'm saying I've done quite well, Evelyn. Well enough to own your debt. All of it." The truth struck her like a slap. "You? Your Blue Horizon Ventures? I prefer to think of myself as your lender." She erupted then, hurling every insult she could muster, threatening to tell our parents, to sue, to destroy my name. When she finally paused to breathe, I spoke evenly. "You have 48 hours to leave the property." "Why?" she cried. "Why would you do this to your own sister?" I recalled every belittling remark, every pitying $20, every time she'd introduced me as her struggling sibling. "Because you never saw me as a threat," I said, "and that was your first error." They relocated to a modest 2-bedroom apartment across town. Marcus took a job at a customer service desk. Evelyn started working at a retail store, her first job in over a decade. Last month, she called to make amends, said she'd learned to be humble, that she now grasped how tough life could be. She asked if we could begin anew. "Of course," I told her. "Family is everything." I didn't mention that I just purchased the mortgage on their new rental property too.